Hello, today I'll be giving a brief overview of the Signal Fusion user interface. This is for accessing remote water quality data obtained with the TRITON-Intelligent water surveillance system made by AUG Signals. So to start, we open a browser. Could be Chrome, Firefox, Edge, or Safari, it doesn't matter. Today I'm demonstrating using Chrome. In the URL bar, we type signalfusion.com. And here is the login page. Every Triton user is given a unique username and password. So typing that in. This is the main interface. First thing to note, we'll select a location we want to look at. Here's the drop-down menu to select. Just pick this one. And I'll say obtain readings. It's important to note that most users, say operators working at a water treatment plant, will only have access to one unit which they oversee. People in a more supervisory role, overseeing multiple water treatment plants, will be given access to whatever Triton units are associated with the credentials they entered at the login page. So looking at the readings here, this gives the up-to-the-minute most recent results. Everything looks good here. There are no alerts to speak of. All the values look to be in right around where we want them to be. So that's great. At the top here, we'll see the graph option. We use this if we want to look at the trending of a particular parameter over the last, say, few weeks or so. So selecting the primary one, let's say free chlorine, and start date, let's say the beginning of the month, and the end date today, say plot chart, and it provides us with a chart of the last few weeks of data for free chlorine. Everything looks great, nice and stable within reasonable limits. It looks good. We select a different parameter, say turbidity, and say plot chart. Same thing, the results look great, very low, which is what we want to see for turbidity. We notice one spike here, which goes over the regulatory limit of 1 NTU, but that's a very momentary spike. The system is intelligent enough to know that this is likely caused by a bubble or some loose dirt passing through the sensor. So it's not going to raise an alarm for a momentary event like this, which is not going to be consequential for the treatment plant's processes. I should also mention this upper limit shown here. That can actually be adjusted by the user at or for each different Triton unit. Moving on to a different location. Looking at the live readings. At this location, the first thing you'll notice is the chart heading here. It's highlighted in red. That indicates that there is a adverse water quality event detected. Looking down the chart, we can immediately see that it's pH, which is also highlighted in red, and the value is 10.1. That's much too high. For this particular unit, I know the cause of this is just an old pH probe. This one is due for replacement, which I'm sure they're working on right now. It's important to know that when an adverse quality event like this is noticed, the system will send an alert to the users by email or by cell phone, whichever they've decided to use, and it will continue sending them regular alerts about the same problem until the problem has been rectified. So looking at yet another community. In this case, both the chart heading and the date and time are both highlighted red. What this tells you is that this particular Triton unit is not currently communicating with the Signal Fusion database. This is one of the more frequent problems encountered in remote communities, just loss of internet connection. When this happens, all the data cannot be transferred here, so the date and time of the last known transmission is shown here, which was roughly a month ago. This will also result in users receiving alerts on their phone, because our water quality monitoring system without an internet connection isn't really as very useful. The next feature here I want to show is report. Users can select a location, a parameter they're interested in, the date and time range as before, and say generate report. And for every day in the date range, it will provide the daily average and daily minimum and maximum. And scrolling down, it shows the same information, but in graphical form. This chart can then be downloaded as an image or a PDF or printed directly. Another feature here at the top is training. What this provides is a series of different videos made by AUG Signals to provide refresher courses for users who may be a little rusty with their Triton operations and maintenance, or perhaps the water plant has brought on a new operator and they're unfamiliar with the system. This is a useful resource for them because there are 12 videos here showing the most common routine operations and maintenance procedures. The last feature here is more information. This basically just gives a bit of background about the different contaminants and parameters monitored by Triton, including different health effects and regulatory limits, just for some background information in case anyone is interested. One other thing I should mention is that I'm accessing this website from a computer today, but it's just as accessible from a mobile phone. Everything is basically looks the same, except that the website has been optimized for use on a mobile phone, obviously. So that about covers everything. Thank you for listening.